Hi, my name is Eve Meinhardt. I'm with the Fort Bragg Public Affairs Office. I'm here today with Colonel Stephen Sosinski, the Fort Bragg Garrison Commander, and we're discussing pedestrian safety at Linden Oaks. All right, there's been some concern lately with pedestrian safety at Linden Oaks. Can you give us an update on where things are standing right now?
Sure. The first thing is that the intersection on Highway 87 opposite Linden Oaks is not an authorized pedestrian crossing point, and CDOT put in a series of signs to prevent pedestrian from crossing across that intersection. We reciprocated and put a like sign at the exit to Linden Oaks, and the bottom line is, if you're on foot, don't negotiate that intersection.
When did the command first realize that there were some concerns in the area and start implementing safety measures to assist with this?
Yeah, I noticed there was a potential for problems at that intersection sometime after Christmas, so it was probably around February timeframe when I noticed that there was actually 6 lanes to cross at that point at the intersection instead of just the 4 north and southbound lanes. And so I started extrapolating what a young person, read spelled kids, might want to do in order to get to the fast food restaurants on the other side of the intersection. And I immediately saw that there was no capability to allow pedestrians to cross. There was no marked sidewalk, there were no safety lights, and the timing for the traffic lights impeded safe crossing of all 6 lanes. Actually, it's 7 lanes right at that crossing point. It's not quite 6. So on a normal red to green turn cycle, it's impossible for anybody unless they're actually sprinting to get from one end of the highway to the other end of the highway.
What can residents do to help increase safety?
Right. Well, there's a number of things that we need to put in place. I've talked to you about the signs. We've asked the residents, and I'm going to reiterate this message, the primary agent responsible for a child's safety is a parent. So watch for your kids' behavior after school. Ensure that they aren't wandering around. Have firm control over them. These are basic parenting 101 type skills. So I'm reiterating that if they leave the neighborhood, that is a very, very dangerous intersection. Just as we saw a 15-year-old boy get seriously hurt this past weekend or a couple weekends ago. And number 2. We are working with the North Carolina Department of Transportation in order to improve the safety of the intersection. So at the moment, it's barred for pedestrian crossing, but what we want to do is set up an overhead pedestrian crossing that would be 100% safe from vehicular traffic. We're not going to get there from here right away. That's at least 15 months away from being conducted or being established. NC Department of Transportation leadership has assured us that they're planning, actually they already have planned a pedestrian overpass crossing, so that's number 1. They are certain that the funding is available. They haven't programmed it yet, and they haven't funded it yet, but they think that if we start the process now, this fall, within about 15 months, we'll have one up and running. Now, in the meantime, what they're doing is they're going to set up that intersection to be a right-hand turn intersection only. When you set up a right-hand turn intersection, you are able to do away with 32, or rather, you're able to do away with 26 of 32 phases that a light has to go in order for vehicles to either cross north-south, to do an east-west crossing, to make a right or a left-handed turn. There are a bunch of sequences that a traffic light intersection has to go through, and each one of those is called a phase. So at the moment, there's 32 of them at that intersection. By establishing right-hand turn lanes only at that intersection, they eliminate 26 of those phases. Now you have only 8 left. And those, actually, you have 6 left. Of those 6, you significantly increase the safety of vehicle traffic. Okay, and how does that help the pedestrian? Well, now the pedestrian, and they will establish this, they're going to set up a pedestrian crossing at grade. It's the industry term apparently, which means that it'll be at street level, where in a Z-shaped pattern you can cross from the eastern side of 87 to the western side of 87. That is a temporary measure. They will have that in place probably within about 6 months or so, after they set up the right-hand turn lanes only. and then that'll be eliminated once they put the overhead pedestrian crossing. So it's a phased approach. Okay, so first you fix the traffic, then you put in the pedestrian crossing at grade, then 6 months later or so you do away with that once the overhead pedestrian crossing is established or built. I will finish by saying that North Carolina Department of Transportation is working with us just as hard to maintain the safety of all of our citizens at that intersection, both off post and on post. So they're being real cooperative partners.
All right, well, thank you very much for your time today, sir.
Sure, you're welcome.